It is a big misconception that in order to learn about tantric sex and experience the depth of aliveness that's possible, you have to practice with a partner. In fact, this is really far from truth. If you want to awaken your pleasure and this sense of the erotic being something sacred, something divine, something pure, something that can actually help you get closer to God, to universe, to the divine in whatever shape or form you feel that is true, then you can do that by beginning with your personal practice. So I'm really celebrating you for clicking on this video and being curious about this path. Here is the first, most essential practice. I even have a full separate video about it. This practice is called ocean breath. There is no way you can experience more pleasure if you don't do this. You have to learn this breath. Most people breathe shallow. They can't enter the depth of pleasure because they breathe shallow. In order to experience more pleasure and connection, we have to breathe with our entire bodies. We have to breathe into our bellies. We have to allow our pelvic floor to become a part of our breath. We need to involve our diaphragm and our pelvic floor, and all of that can be involved naturally if we breathe deeply into our bellies. And this one breath pattern allows us to really feel deeper connection and sensation right away. This breath is called ocean breath. It is about you inhaling through your nose deeply into your belly, passing through your chest, making sure the breath doesn't stay here, moving your breath into your belly, expanding your belly on the inhale, and then exhaling through open mouth, soft jaw, with a sound that sounds like an ocean wave breaking into the shores. And as you breathe like that, you make sure that you're not tightening your lips, you're not exhaling like, but you're having your mouth soft, jaw soft, and you can also move your pelvis and your back with this breath. It looks something like now you don't have to move. The feminine body will benefit a lot from this movement, while a masculine body often doesn't want to move like that, and it's still fine. As long as you keep breathing really deeply into your belly and exhaling through open mouth. So you can practice this breath. In fact, I have a guided practice for you. You can click here, also find the link in the description if you can't find it here, and practice this breath. If you simply teach your body to breathe like that, you'll be able to tune in into this breath, turn on this breath whenever you need. You can breathe like that in your self-pleasure sessions in order to expand pleasure through your entire body. You can breathe like that when you're practicing eye gazing with a partner, and it's going to deepen the experience by 10x, believe me. And you can also have this breath when you are receiving pleasure from your partner, or you can also have this breath when you're having slow, connective, penetrative sex. If you want to learn more about this breath, I have another video here that explains you why the breathing is so important. But whatever I mentioned here is already enough. You have to practice it in order to feel it, and that is essential. Now, the next practice is self-pleasure. This is essential. It is essential for you to learn to pleasure your own body in a non-goal oriented way. And inside of self-pleasure sessions that you must begin if you want to be a tantric lover, you're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to train your body to experience pleasure on a deeper level. And you're going to also alchemize different emotions that you might be feeling and release blocks that are in between you and the depth of bliss, pleasure, and connection that's possible. I have a separate video here about the difference between self-pleasure and masturbation if you want to know more. And here I just want to already guide you through how to have a self-pleasure ritual if you want to be a tantric lover. Inside of a self-pleasure ritual, you are creating for yourself a sacred space to be with yourself, to feel what's been not felt enough, to let emotions rise, and to be with your own body, to recognize your body as a temple and to pleasure your temple. To not make your body temple do something or to push it into a certain shape or performance, but actually just be. In order to have such a ritual, you, as with any ritual, will have to create a sacred ritual space. You are going to turn off your phone. You're going to turn off any distractions. You will, however, put on some really nice music, relaxing, sensual music that you like. And you're going to light some candles, some incense. You're going to ensure that your space is free of clutter, that it is reflecting the sacredness of this moment. And you're going to give yourself enough time, at least 30 minutes for just to start with, and only for very busy days, but generally 45 minutes, an hour and a half. And inside of such space, there is no goal. There is nothing to achieve. We don't have to make ourselves feel a certain way. We don't have to reach an orgasm. We don't even have to touch genitals. There is no goal. There are, however, some things that are essential here as elements of such ritual. You can write these down. So as you create this sacred sensual ritual space, you are going to have some pleasure tools. At the very least, some body oil, natural, fragrance-free, chemical-free body oil, like extra virgin coconut oil or jojoba oil, or any oil that you can also eat. Yeah, if you can eat it, it's very healthy for you. If you put it inside, then you can put it on your genitals and on your body. And you can also have a crystal or wand or a glass wand if using some penetration is what feels good for you on the day, or you can have nothing, just the oil. Sometimes I like to use a feather or even a fork, whatever you want to use in order to add sensations. And in such a space, there is only one rule. You stay present and you stay with your body, touching your body. Curious, but not pushing yourself to achieve anything. And so you can dim your lights, you can have that music, and then you sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what am I feeling now? What am I feeling? Allow yourself to notice your feeling that is simply there. And then begin to set an intention. Set an intention to be present, to honor your body, to stay curious, and to simply receive what you're meant to receive. Stay open. And then begin pleasuring your body. Give yourself some face massage. Touch your hands in different ways and feel how it feels like to pinch, to caress, to put some pressure. Explore your body. And whatever feels good, do more of that. Follow your sensations, allow emotions to rise. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to moan, moan. Allow yourself to make sounds and to really explore your body with curiosity and innocence. Touch your inner thighs, and only after 10, 15, 20 minutes, give yourself time. You can come to your genitals and touch your genitals, give them massage. And when you touch them, tell them, I love you. You are sacred. You are divine. I love you so much. Give your genitals this honor and allow your genitals to feel like a part of your sacred temple, and give them massage and touch them in different ways. And so you can keep touching your body in this way for 30, 45 minutes, even an hour, and explore. The whole point is to have no goal, to just allow yourself to feel any emotions that come, to stay curious and make your body feel good. If an orgasm happens, amazing. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. It's good. It's great. It's beautiful. If you feel numb, Notice that and stay with your numbness. Stay curious. Allow yourself to feel it. The more you allow yourself to feel it, the more you allow it to feel safe and to show you what is actually underneath it. And especially if you feel tender, allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to experience any emotion that is rising in such a sacred process. And this is going to be your practice. You will start seeing what it means to be on a path towards enlightenment, towards divinity, through the door of your sexuality, if you practice self-pleasure in this way. And now moving on to the last key practice, solo practice, if you want to become tantric lover, if you want to start having tantric sex. And that practice is sounding. You have to learn to make sounds. A lot of people don't experience the depth of pleasure and connection because their throat chakra is blocked, because we've learned through our lives to watch what we say, be quiet. And a lot of men have troubles expressing their voice in sex, and that limits their pleasure potential big time. And it even leads to issues with semen retention. They might come fast and experience orgasm fast. Why? Because this tension, this arousal that is at their pelvis cannot move up and spread this pleasure through the whole body because the throat is blocked. The energy moves and the body reaches the throat is blocked, and so the energy just goes back down, this huge pressure that's going down, and premature ejaculation happens. Of course, there are many other reasons, but this is one of the reasons. If you're not moaning, you're not making sounds, you don't allow your sexual energy to move. Similarly for us women, if we don't allow ourselves to moan, to make sounds, to shout, cry, laugh, and just exhale with we actually make our sexual energy stuck. We block it. We don't allow it to move. And the best way to unblock it is to sound as a practice. To simply have a moment alone at home. Let yourself spend 5 or 10 minutes just making random sounds, clearing your throat. For example, inhaling and exhaling. And then just making a few more sounds like and just exploring what sounds can come out of your body. If you just inhale into your womb, what sound would come out on the exhale? If you just allow yourself to clear your throat and cough it out, what happens with your body? I invite you to just experiment. 5 or 10 minutes alone in an isolated room. If you have somebody else in your house, just let them know that whatever weird sounds are happening, it's okay. And just sound, random sounds, play with it. Be curious, like yeah, just random sounds, clear your throat, and this will already liberate a lot of energy in you. And then when you go into your self-pleasure practice, make sure you sound and you moan and you allow yourself to express through your throat. And then when you start having tantric sex with a partner, or even just normal sex, just sex, allow yourself to moan, to express, and notice how much more pleasure can move through your body as a result. We really have been taught that sounds that we make during sex are a part of our performance, especially through porn. And notice in porn, people do this sound comes from the throat. The model, the actress, doesn't actually experience the pleasure that is possible in tantric sex because she doesn't breathe deeply, practice number 1, and she doesn't sound from your pelvis, last practice. She sounds from here. It's performative. It's fake. Try that. You'll notice that the energy moves from here. It has nothing to do with the genitals. And if you breathe deeply and sound from your genitals, the sound becomes deep. And that allows you to actually feel. So to recap, 3 top solo tantric practices to begin the path of tantric sexuality, one that leads you to more freedom and aliveness and connection, are number 1, breath, number 2, self-pleasure as a ritual, and number 3, sounding. Make big sounds, clear your throat. Thank you for watching this video. This is my new channel. You will have a lot more practices on sacred sexuality and intimacy coming up here. Please subscribe to stay in touch. And if you've tried any of these practices, I'd love to hear from you in comments. My name is Maria Grinina. I am a love, sex, and relationship coach, and I use tantric principles and practices to help people connect deeper to themselves and their pleasure, and to deepen their love. If you want to find out about my work, about my incredible retreats and one-on-one coaching, you can hit the link in this video description.